Let's talk about scandal a little while. Okay. On this week in scandal, a former Republican president dies, and this president is supposed to be Ronald Reagan-esque. You know, very conservative. Everybody loved him, well-liked and everything. Very popular. And the assassin contacts Olivia Pope, says he's innocent, he didn't shoot him, the whole thing. And Olivia goes to visit this alleged assassin in jail, all right, who proclaims to be innocent, all right. But in another scene, what's more interesting, Mellie bonds with the First Lady to learn that most First Ladies go through a lot of things that she's been through in the White House. But that's not a new epiphany or anything. Abby explained a couple of episodes ago that Jackie, John F. Kennedy's wife, went through so many tragedies while she was a First Lady in the White House. So I don't know what Mellie's gonna get from the First Lady. Well, that she didn't get from Abby, except that, okay, all right, the First Lady went through it personally. So maybe that will be more effective, I guess. I don't know. Abby is also in another scene where she's speaking to Mr. President about Jake. You know, because Jake's down being held after getting a beat down by the president. I shouldn't laugh about that. Okay. So after he gets the beat down by the president, he's still jailed. He's still being in holding. What are they going to do with Jake, you know? And so after Abby speaks with the president does allow Olivia to see Jake. And, you know, Olivia and the president, it's so difficult because there's still something there, but they know it's torrid. They know they shouldn't be doing anything, okay? But anyway, so Olivia goes to visit Jake. Jake's all beat up and bloodied. And the interesting part is he tells Olivia to contact his mother, I guess in the event of, you know, of his demise if he dies. Jake is preparing himself for the worst, you know. And he speaks to her as if he's speaking in his last will and testimony. It's that deep, you know. But then he goes to Olivia and he says to her something that's very touching. The writers are so good in this show, I have to say that. They say, Jake says to Olivia, it's okay that you chose him, meaning the president, over me. Now, how many men will say that? I mean, he's absolving her, I guess if she feels guilty, if something does happen later on when she looks back at this situation, if she has a conscience. He's assuming she has one. I think to do these type of jobs, you have to have very little conscience, okay? But anyway, he's telling her it's okay. You chose him instead of me, you know? And he's got this sad puppy dog look on his face. It's the saddest thing because he's very vulnerable, and you usually see Jake bold, and Jake is usually ready to you know, take on anything. He's a very confident guy, but now he's just beaten down. It's a mess. All right. Huck is interacting with his son, and he's interacting with his son in the same way in which most men interact with their kids right now, which is through video games, you know? And it's funny because it's real life, you know? Anytime you go on YouTube or any of these gaming channels, you will see a lot of the fathers interacting with their sons. That is the way a lot of men bond with their kids, through their video games, you know? How many times the wives have to pull their kids away from the video games and the father's right there encouraging him. In another scene, Quinn finds the locker in which the key fit, and in the locker are these pictures of Olivia, and this is what they feel caused the death of Caitlin. All right, so the murder of Caitlin, I should say. All right, so we'll see where it leads. We'll talk to you next week, and tell me if you watched the next one, and you know what was up next. How to get away with murder.